I am Will Scott. Welcome into Celtics Today by Chat Sports. We got some news, we got some rumors to discuss on today's show. We're going to talk about Blake Griffin here in a second because he is the newest member of the Boston Celtics. So because of that, I want y'all to go down, like the video to welcome Blake Griffin to Boston. Go down, hit that thumbs up icon. Let's welcome the newest member of the Boston Celtics by liking the video. And if you're fired up about that signing, which I think we all are, go down, hit the thumbs up icon. So Blake Griffin did officially sign that one-year deal with the Celtics over the weekend, vet minimum deal that is fully guaranteed. And because of the Gallinari injury and because of the Robert Williams surgery, it was really important for the Celtics to add depth down low. They waited a few weeks. Brad Stevens is making me a little bit nervous, but they finally signed someone, and Blake Griffin certainly a good fit on this basketball team. Here's what he said at his press conference over the weekend. I've talked to pretty much everyone. I was talking to some guys on Sunday. I'm actually very, not surprised, but the amount of maturity and welcomeness that the Celtics players showed, it's a different atmosphere than I was sort of used to in a good way. A shot at the Nets right there? I'm not sure. They were very welcoming, everybody, 1 through 15. Practice day was focused, very encouraging, helpful. I think you kind of take that for granted because it's not always the case everywhere you go. So Blake Griffin, I don't know. I'm not trying to read too much into those quotes, but maybe it sounded like he wasn't too happy in Brooklyn and really happy to be in Boston. And, you know, we've talked about this a lot, but the Brooklyn Nets are a little bit of disarray, or at least were, especially at the tail end of last season. They were swept by the Celtics. There were some locker room concerns over there, some locker room questions. You don't have that in Boston. It's a close-knit group. Guys, the season is almost here. Go down and subscribe so you are ready, because we're going to have you covered throughout the entire Celtics season, especially with trade rumors, news, rumors, all the above. So go down, subscribe to the channel so you're ready for the Celtics season. It's about 2 weeks away. Actually, 2 weeks from today, if you can believe that, the Celtics season gets underway against the 76ers at TD Garden. So I think a lot of us are asking, after signing Blake Griffin, who could be next for Brad Stevens and company? Who could the Celtics bring in? Might have to look at some guys from the Adelaide 36ers. Of course, I screwed that up. It says 76ers. The Adelaide 36ers, who stunned the Phoenix Suns the other night, 134-124. The 36ers finished, I believe, 7th in the NBL, which is the Australian Professional League. They go into Phoenix and beat the team that was the number 1 seed in the Western Conference last season. One of the most stunning upsets in NBA history. I don't care if it's preseason. This is a wild upset that we saw go down in Phoenix the other night, and a big reason they won that game, Kai Sotto is someone we've talked about a lot at Chat Sports, someone who we thought might get drafted. He didn't, but here's what he did in that game against Phoenix, playing an NBA team. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, shot 50% from the floor. So nothing crazy, but watching the highlights from this game, he looked incredibly solid facing one of the better teams in the NBA. It was an impressive performance from the 36ers and specifically Kai Sotto. And a lot of teams, I think, are asking themselves after watching the 36ers performance in that game, should they sign Kai Sotto? Should they bring him in? He apparently had the chance to sign with some summer league teams and didn't. He's happy with the 36ers. He wants another year with them. But if he has some NBA interest, perhaps he'll consider it. Here are the Celtics backup big men after the signing of Blake Griffin. So you have Grant Williams, Sam Hauser, Blake Griffin, Luke Kornet, and Mfiondu Kabengele. Now, I don't have Noah Vonleh and some of the camp deal guys on here because, you know, they're training camp guys. The top 4 here on guaranteed deals. Kabengele trying to make the team as a two-way player. So these are the Celtics backup big men. So if you sign Kai Sotto, you would add him to this group. If you want to sign Kai Sotto, type S for sign or type P for pass down in the comment section. Go down, chime in. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So when ad break comes, go down, let me know what you think. Do you want to sign Kai Sotto, make him a member of the Boston Celtics? I'm all for it. And the reason for that is because of his potential and his upside. He's still very young. So sign him, bring him in, and then put him in Maine. Have him be a member of the Maine Celtics. You know, bring him in the last, week or 2 of training camp, and then have him start the season with the Maine Celtics. And if he shows potential with Maine, very similar to what Sam Hauser did last season, then bring him up to Boston. I'm all for it. I'm a big Kai Sotto fan. I thought he deserved to get drafted. He wasn't. I thought that he was going to sign with NBA Summer League team, and he didn't. But I want to see how this guy stacks up against NBA competition. We saw that with the Phoenix Suns the other night, and he played very well. I'm all for bringing Kai Sotto to Boston. Hashtag Kai to Boston. Guys, you can go bet on the Celtics all season long at BetUS. And if you go to chatsports.com/bet, got to go to that link and use this promo code, chat125, you're going to get a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put $100 in, you'll get $125 additional cash to bet with. Great deal. Take advantage of it. Chatsports.com/bet. The Celtics are now tied with the Warriors for the championship odds next season. The Celtics have been pretty much the front runner in terms of title favorites all offseason, but because of the Gallinari injury, because of the Ime Udoka situation, they've now fallen back a little bit and are now tied with Golden State. But the top 5 teams are all very close. You got the Celtics plus 600, Warriors plus 600, Nets plus 650, Clips plus 650, Bucks at plus 700. You may notice that after falling to Kai Sotto and the Adelaide 36ers, the Phoenix Suns are not in the top 5, even despite being the number 1 seed in the West last season in the playoffs. So the Phoenix Suns are in shambles right now. The Celtics, you could certainly say that they've had some issues this offseason as well, but still, they're way up there. Going down the Celtics plus 600 to win the NBA title because they looked fantastic in their preseason opener the other day against Charlotte. You know, I kept checking my phone. Admittedly, I didn't have time to watch the game. I was checking my phone and seeing the score just keep going up and up. It was a 10-point lead, 20-point lead, 30-point lead, a 40-point lead. They ultimately win the game 134-93. A complete dismantling of the Charlotte Hornets. And look, I understand it. I understand it's just a preseason game. But still, with all of the question marks surrounding this team going into that game, with Missoula, with Ime, with, no Gallinari, no Robert Williams, for them to win the game by that significant a margin is very impressive and certainly a testament to what this coaching staff has done early. Here's what the Celtics did in terms of their stats. So not everyone can fit on here, but certainly some notable names here. Marcus Smart, 7 points, 3 rebounds. 7.3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jayson Tatum, 16 points. Jaylen Brown, 24 points. Grant Williams, 8 and 4. Noah Vonleh looked really good, and we're going to talk about him in a second. 7 points, 9 rebounds. Mfiondu Kabengele looked fantastic as well. 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 of 4 shooting. An impressive debut for Malcolm Brogdon. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Sam Hauser was one of the MVPs in this game. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 of 5 from 3-point range. So an impressive showing all around for the C's. They got a lot of guys involved in this game. The final, again, 134-93. It's the first of 4 preseason games we're going to see for the Boston Celtics. But this looks like a group that looks determined. Again, just preseason, but still an impressive showing. How confident are you in this team after the first preseason game? Are you more confident than before, especially after the Ime Udoka situation? Scale it 1 to 10 down in the comment section. How confident are you in the Celtics after this first preseason game? Here were the 3 clear winners, and I didn't put Brown or Tatum on this list because they're obviously going to dominate every game. But I thought Sam Hauser and Mfiondu Kabengele and Noah Vonleh were the big winners here. Sam Hauser's a lock to make this team, obviously, but he showed off his 3-point shooting in this game, and he did not look very good in Summer League. So for him to come out in the first preseason game, I thought was very promising. Mfiondu Kabengele, after arguably being the Celtics MVP in the Summer League, he comes out in the first preseason game, puts up 10 points, 4 of 4 shooting, was a rebounding machine as well at times. And then Noah Vonleh, 7 points, 9 rebounds for him. I really do believe that Kabengele and Vonleh have a legit shot to make this team, even after the Blake Griffin signing, because of how well they have played throughout how well they played the first week of training camp and in the first preseason game. So I really like these two. Hopefully they have a fair shot to make the team. If you had to pick one to make the team, who would it be? Mfiondu Kabengele or Noah Vonleh? Type MK for Kabengele or type NV for Noah Vonleh down in the comment section. Go down, chime in. I would probably say Kabengele. I honestly think he's better than Luke Kornet. Producer Patrick Seatman agrees with me. I think Kabengele's the better player. I really do. And he has more NBA experience. Here's the upcoming schedule for the C's. So they play Toronto tomorrow night in their second preseason game, their last home game before the regular season. Then they go to Charlotte, then to Toronto, October 7th, October 14th, and then October 18th, P stands for preseason. October 18th is when they play their regular season opener against the Philadelphia 76ers. That's going to be a huge game at TD Garden. If you're there, tweet at me at WillScott44. I might do a video right after that game, so go down, subscribe to the channel. But that is the upcoming slate. The regular season just 2 weeks away. I hope you're as excited as I am. Go down and subscribe to the channel. Stay in the loop throughout the season.